Hey everyone, welcome to my new plush review channel. Today I'll be reviewing the Thai Beanie Baby Best Day Ever Spongebob plush set. This set contains 5 characters: Spongebob, Mr. Krabs, Plankton, Patrick, and Gary. Unfortunately, Squidward does not exist in this plush set, but he does have an actual plush by Thai. I'll talk about that one later. But for now, let's move on to SpongeBob. The SpongeBob in this set is probably my favorite of the bunch. He looks like he does in the show, but there are some flaws with him. For one, his tie always stays up, and I'm pretty sure this is just poor quality control. And the arms are too high, but I'm also kinda sure it's also because of poor quality control. But yeah, that's all I have to say about the SpongeBob. Now let's get into his rarity. SpongeBob is probably the most common in this set. Since he is the main character, it would make sense to make a lot of him to appeal to the SpongeBob fans. So I'd say he'd go for either around $15 to $20. I'd say SpongeBob is the most common out of the set. Anyways, enough about SpongeBob. Let's talk about his friend, Patrick Star. Patrick is probably the goofiest in the set, and probably one of my favorites. The fact is that he's open-mouthed, he has arms, and he also has one tooth. Everything about this plush is just goofy overall, and is so charming. First off, they got Patrick's color and everything correctly, and they put the acne in his right spots, I think. Nothing wrong about this plush, besides the fact that they re-released this like 3 times. But overall, nothing is wrong with this plush. It's just a really accurate Patrick plush. Also, fun fact, this actually looks like the movie design of Patrick. If you look at the cover art for the SpongeBob movie, the original, you can actually see the similarities to this and the cover image of that Patrick. But maybe that's just me. Anyways, there's not much to say about this plush, besides it looking really goofy, and that's all. It's hard to say Patrick's rarity, but I'd say he's more common than SpongeBob. Most people don't really like Patrick, but I find that hard to believe. From the ones that have showed up on eBay, I'd say this plush is worth around $8 to $10. But yeah, that's Patrick. Now, let's move on to Gary. Gary is one of my favorite SpongeBob characters in general, and he doesn't get that much merchandise, so it's great to see him here. Gary looks pretty accurate, unlike most Gary plushes, which is why he is rarer than SpongeBob and Patrick, since he is one of many Gary plushes to look accurate to the art he's based off. As for his rarity, he's decently rare, at least for the ones I've seen. He usually goes for $50 to $40, but you could totally find him for less. But yeah, that's Gary. He isn't the most unique in the set, but still stands as a great Gary plush. Anyways, let's move on to my favorite one of all, Mr. Money Krabs. Mr. Krabs is one of the most unique in this set. For one thing, he doesn't look like most Mr. Krabs plushies, since he has a weird look to him. For some reason, unlike a lot of Mr. Krabs plushies, they captured his details very nicely, using overlay for most of its details. Anyways, enough reviewing, time for his prices. Mr. Krabs is quite rare, slightly rarer than Gary, but maybe that's just the listings I've seen. But anyways, he usually goes for around $50 to $60, but you could totally find one for cheaper. For example, this listing shows the plush going for $23. so it's not becoming rare yet, but it might be in the future. So get it while you can. But now for our final plush, Sheldon Plankton. Plankton is one of the main villains in Spongebob, so it makes sense he would get a plush. Plankton looks very nice, even though he isn't quite in scale with the other plushes. They probably did this so they have a lot of detail to work with. For example, his antennas are not just like pieces of felt, unlike some Plankton plushes. Although, the only thing I have to complain about this plush is that they overuse this pose for Plankton. If you look at a lot of Plankton plushes, they use this specific pose. And I don't know why. Maybe it's a good pose, but I don't know. It personally just looks really, really meh. But anyways, that's enough of reviewing. Time for his prices. Plankton is decently priced for the ones I've seen. He usually goes for $30 to $40. He's definitely the oddball in this set, and they probably just added him to add more variety. But maybe that's just me. There are better ones than this, such as the Sonic Plankton plush, but he's still a really good, nice quality Plankton plush. I would totally recommend him if you were a fan of Plankton. Anyways, that's all to this set. There are more plush to this set, such as the re-release of it and the small keychain versions of it, but that's a video for another day. Hopefully you guys really enjoyed this video. I worked my butt off this video, so make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this. Anyways, thanks for watching. Bye! If you're still watching and you're mad that I didn't talk about Squidward, well, the reason is my computer, script that I originally made for this video got corrupted while I was recording Mr. Krabs' lines, so I kinda had to improvise. I'm sorry I couldn't talk about Squidward, but, yeah, I'm sorry. I just lost the original, and I felt that this video would take another year if I tried to attempt to do Squidward's lines. So yeah, I'm sorry. But I hope you enjoyed this video though. Bye.